You know, Mike, you couldn't get dressed any better than that for this motherfucker.
I love
I
his
mean,
tie.
it
That's
is
a
what
great.
it
Isn't
is.
that a
Yeah.
great tie?
Were you talking about mine or Mike's?
No, no. I say Mike's tie. You know, because
I mean, Mike's tie doesn't get pales in comparison to mine, but he's all right.
you got some traps though. Your
Yeah.
traps look good though. What's up,
That's
everybody? We're already in our chat here. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Police Off the Cuff After Hours. I'm your
bow.
host. Bow. I'm your
All
host,
right.
Mark DeMayo. My co-host sitting in tonight is none other than the prodigy, Mike Cologne. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mark. Hey, Darren. Glad to be here.
Mike is the host of a very popular podcast called Cologne Report. And our guest tonight, returning once again, he hasn't learned his lesson. He's back from doing
The
his
motherfucking man. What do you
doing
mean?
his
Yes.
world
You mean
tour.
the whole show is me? All right,
Doing
cool.
it, he went on a world tour. We're gonna hear all about it right now. He's a beautiful man. What's up, Dr. Darren Porcher?
What's going on? I just got finished having sex with 8 midgets in a cave in Africa, but
Uh-huh.
now I'm back.
Wait,
And
wait.
we're gonna go ahead with
Now
take care of
that
business.
you mentioned that, well, let me just ask you a quick question. You decided to go on vacation, but not like a regular vacation. You basically went around the world almost.
Well, there was a series of two different. Like at first, I went with my old lady. First, we went to Europe and we went to Egypt, and then I came back for a couple of weeks, and then I went back to Africa, South Africa, and went on one of these safaris. Oh, that's me over in I'm in Paris there, holding out. You see, you see, I got the Rolls Royce Phantom there.
What are you doing? Carjacking that guy?
Nah, that was the car. Let me tell you, they pick you up from. I came to Paris by way of London, and so I took the
So what? Take
Eurostar.
us to the beginning. You get when you go to Europe. What's the first
The
destination?
beginning. You mean when my mother and father had
No,
sex?
no, the first
Oh, you
destination in
said the
Europe.
beginning. So all right, cool. All right, so with the first destination,
Well, when you went to Europe, what was the first stop?
the first place I went to was London.
Okay, what did you think of that?
I mean, it was cool. A lot of people complained about the food there, but I thought that the food was really good. My girlfriend and myself, we stayed in like the downtown area. So I want to say we were relatively close to the Tower Bridge. Most people refer to the Tower Bridge as the London Bridge, but that's the area that we were. That's where our hotel was. We stayed at the Shard Hotel. It was cool. We got the chance to run around. We did the fish and chips thing. Then we went to we
How
went to
long are
Dublin,
all,
Ireland.
how long are all these stops, by the way?
We tried to, well, London, we were there for, I want to say it was 6 days and 5 nights.
Okay, now you go to Ireland.
So do we go to Ireland and then we go to Amsterdam? And I'm going to be upfront with you, Mark. I went to Amsterdam. I was in the red light district and I was with my old lady.
Uh-huh.
So she was basically the person that was guiding the pathway. So,
So
when you see in the red light district, you have the booths with the girls
uh-huh,
and all of
uh-huh,
that.
uh-huh.
My old lady was my emissary, so she basically set forth the precedent. But the craziest thing, like New York weed is legal. I didn't smell anybody smoking dope while I was over there, and it's just
Well, I
like it
think
was.
they'd have the cafes and stuff like that, right?
They had that, but it was like, and there was a sign up in this place where it was like no drinking in public. I was like, get out of here in
Uh-huh,
the red light district in Amsterdam. So
uh-huh.
anyway, after then we came back to London from Amsterdam. Then we went to we took the Eurostar to Paris. We hung out in
That's where
Paris.
once again
Yeah,
there you
right,
are.
exactly. And that's the car. We stayed in a Peninsula Hotel, and that's the transportation that they give you in a Peninsula Hotel. They pick you up in a Rolls Royce Phantom. And then
Where am I?
after we left, I'm in Rome in that picture. After we left Paris, then we went to Monte Carlo. Let me tell you, it was big dog style. They picked us
Uh,
up from the airport in a helicopter and flew us to the
let me
the
ask you something.
hotel.
What did you do? You won the prices right or something? How the fuck?
Yeah, you
How the
funny.
fuck
Yeah.
you get this trip? Like who's?
Mark,
Where
I'm
did
the
you?
fucking man. What are you kidding me? I'm
What
the
is this? All
fucking
this
man.
Fox News contributor money?
Yeah, no, so I went over there and Monte Carlo was cool. The room I stayed in was $4,000 a night.
Uh-huh.
So it was, actually, man, I can even pull up. I don't know if I can pull up the. I did a video for my room. The room was
Uh-huh.
like huge.
Uh-huh.
So they picked us up in a helicopter, flew us to the hotel. We rocked out there. Then we went to this place called Saint Tropez. beaches, stuff like that, because that was on my girlfriend's bucket list. She
Uh-huh.
wanted to go to San Tropez, so we went
Needless
there.
to
That was
say, needless to say, you're getting sex whenever you wanted on this trip, right?
oh well, no, it goes up and down.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
You're
It's funny because
shelling out all this big bucks, taking it all over. Nah, I don't want to hear it. She should have been like, "Do you want it now?" Every 10 minutes,
I
she
mean,
should ask you,
it could
Do
be
you want it
better. It
now?"
could be better.
Every
It could
10
be
minutes,
better.
they should ask you that. Do you want it now?
Oh man.
Look, Mike
Hey,
is
hey,
blushing.
Spress, I'm on this podcast, and they said that since I took you there, me and you I should be getting sex whenever I want, and I'm letting them know what the truth is.
No, okay,
And
so
if I had it my way, because I'm still in love, you're at that point. Like we're coming up on a 5-year point, so
uh,
I'm still. You normally 2 years, you're out of love, you're looking at other chicks in magazines, but I'm still all the way locked in.
you know what's
So
funny? You'll fight on a trip like
she's
that too.
red line. No, we didn't fight at all.
No, no,
We
I'm
didn't
just
fight at
saying
all.
you will though. You could be in paradise and still like some shit pops off.
Nah, but
But
cool. Her
anyway, go
birthday,
ahead.
her birthday is in 2 weeks, so I had to go out and buy her. I had to
Something
go out and buy
else?
her. Yeah, what the
Something
fuck,
else?
man? I
Really? The
bought.
trip should
Yeah,
speak for the whole year.
I had to
Anyway,
get
go
her a
back.
ten
Go back.
thousand dollars Chanel bag
No, you
and
didn't.
a 3 day.
Stop
Yeah,
playing.
yeah. I'm serious. Yeah, I got a ten
You got to be
thousand. You want me
careful
to show
because
it to you?
no,
I
no.
mean,
What I'm
I
saying
gotta.
is, right now they got that $600 bank account thing.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't
Yeah,
that biting
you're
shit
gonna
off the
pop.
crate?
You're gonna
Yeah, big
pop.
time,
They're
big
gonna be
time.
looking into your shit.
But I'm gonna rock
Go,
out with Dave DeMayo, Mark DeMayo. Forgive me, I
go
say
back. Go
Dave,
back
Mark
to Saint Tropez. So what
So
happens over
Sancho
there?
Pez was nice. There was a whole lot of beaches and stuff like that. And then we came back to Monte Carlo. And then from Monte Carlo, we went to Rome. And Rome, that's why I guess where you saw the picture. Right, exactly. You notice my shirt matches the Coliseum. As a black person, we gotta coordinate, right? You can't stop there. You gotta coordinate, right? So Rome was cool, man. The food was really good. And then after we left Rome, we went to Cairo, Egypt, and we hit the pyramids, and that was on her bucket list. So that's why we went there. But it was actually, it was pretty cool to see. It was a very interesting experience and to see the pyramids and the Sphinx up close. But there was a lot of poverty in Cairo. Oh man, please, they make the squeegee guys here in New York look like millionaires, man.
Yeah,
So
I would imagine, man.
yeah, but then we came back, and then a couple of weeks later, that's when we flew over we went to Cape Town, South Africa. We hung out there for a couple of days, and then we flew from Cape Town to this place called Kruger National Park. And let me tell you, we did Qatar Air, and this is I give a plug to somebody. Yeah, you see, I got the elephants. That many people ask me, is that Photoshop? No, I didn't realize. So after the picture was taken, that the elephant was that close. And my old lady, she was like, "Damn," she felt a little nervous because the elephant was that close. And I was like, "Wow," I didn't realize it until after I saw the picture that the elephant was that close. There's no gates up or anything to that effect. If you can be lunch meat if they want you to be.
What about this one?
So. Yeah, the giraffes, they're not confrontational, so you don't really worry too much about them. So, as you stand, you can get relatively as close as you want. I should say close as you want. Remember, they're wild animals, so you got to maintain some level of a distance. But they were cool. They look bigger in person. Now, this one right here, those are white rhinos. Those things are gigantic, man. When you look at these things, like I'm relatively close too. To these rhinos. It was a herd of rhinos, and I got the chance to see them up close and personal. It's unfortunate you have poachers that come and they kill these animals for their ivory tusks, and they actually had poachers patrols out there. They had like rifles and shit, and they actually kill the poachers out there. There's no taking them into custody and answering for a charge. No, they smoke them on the spot.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah. So this is something you always wanted to do, or did you go to the doctor and get some bad news?
That was my bucket list. Her bucket list was Cairo, Egypt, and Saint Tropez. My bucket list was to go on one of these African safaris. As a black guy, Mark, we always want to go to Africa, right? Go back to the motherland.
You know what? I just had this morbid thought. I was like, man, if I find out I get cancer, and now I want to do all the things I always wanted to do, like go see the rest of the world, I couldn't really get too far. Like I'll be like, all right, you could go to You go to Chicago if you want, but that's all you can afford. Like, I'm not getting out of the country.
No, that's not true, Mark. Are you an island guy? You like doing island vacations?
No,
Are
I
you into
do those. I
cruises?
do. I'm just kidding. But what I'm saying
Okay,
is
no,
that
because you struck
that
me as
is.
an island guy. You struck me as an
Oh, my
island guy
favorite
that
place
was.
is Jamaica. I love
Oh,
Jamaica.
really?
I could
You
go to
struck
Jamaica.
me as an island guy, and you saw Staten Island in the purview of your island vacation, and you went on a cruise with the Staten Island ferry to get there.
No, but I admire the fact that you did that.
Yeah,
That's in a most people don't take the time to do that. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Most people are,
We're going to
especially.
Hawaii in a couple of weeks. Actually, in
Uh-huh.
December, we're going to Hawaii for Christmas.
Uh-huh.
So
Does your girl know that it's all downhill after this? Like, there's no way you can top this
no,
year.
no, no. You know why? No, no. We're going to Maldives in February,
I didn't even know.
Valentine's Day.
I didn't even know that existed. What is that?
I know
Yeah,
what that
it's a
is.
place. It's a
It's a
place
place.
in the Indian Ocean. It's just like it's super pristine island resort, and
Uh-huh.
so I'm taking it there. You
God
know,
bless you,
so
man. I wish
let
I
me
was.
tell you why I'm
Let me
doing
tell you
all of this.
something, bro. I wish I was your girl right now.
No, no, I'm a straight guy, Mark. So you
Close.
know that wouldn't work. Two guys on the same mattress. No, that's gunfire.
No, just for the trips, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
bro.
Mike, you want to give a shout out to the people that are checking in tonight on the comment section over here?
Yes, let's shout them out now in order. Jen Lowe, Maui Swift, of course. We have Tony Lee Blair. Excuse me if I mispronounced that. Joan Pachola. I saw the Pranzos in there earlier. Angela Ang, of course. Scrolling through retired NYPD. In addition to her, or him rather, we have Mary Green. Thank you, Mary, for being here as always. Margot Siege. Or Sieg, Lorna McKenzie, Boxing MMA, of course, is a constant. He's one of the moderators. So, as always, a very good presence here on Police.
Margot, Siege, Diane Wilson, and Kristen Cure. There are new members, so a big shout out to them. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I love having Darren on. I forgot to mention this earlier, but we only have Darren tonight for a little bit over half an hour. And so we'll go quick, and we're gonna have a very short show tonight. So we'll go quick. We'll hit him with fire. I just want to talk about a couple of things. Now, first of all, where are we right now?
12 minutes into the show.
No, I'm thinking, what should we do first? No, because we heard about the safari. I'm bored with it already, to tell you the truth. No, because I'm jealous.
Nah, that's all good. There's a whole bunch of things we could talk about.
No, I got a couple of things here. What I want to talk about.
Well,
let's hit this one first. I'll let you let this sink. Oh fuck! Wait a minute. Share. I want to share video. Oh no. Sorry, I'm getting my shit together here. I got it now. Yeah, here we go. This is bothering me a lot.
Surprisingly, this has now become an issue in the closing days of the campaign for mayor. The issue of how to protect the mayor, who should pay for it, and whether that should be the taxpayers. On the last day to register to vote in the city's mayoral election, Curtis Sliwa hoping a new issue registers with voters.
That's up when you mess up, Bill de Blasio.
The current mayor now accused by his own commissioner at the Department of Investigation of improperly using police to drive his family around, then billing taxpayers for it.
It's not security, it's essentially a concierge service.
The DOI report found the mayor misused a police van to move his daughter's furniture, let the police drive his son to and from college, and that the police inspector who runs the detail obstructed the investigation. De Blasio pushed back on Thursday.
We're looking at a report that is very hard to make sense of and filled with inaccuracies.
And today on the radio,
I mean, this is just unbelievably inaccurate and unfair.
Re-emphasized his stance. NYPD security for his family is allowed, and previous mayors did it too.
My experience was the same as all my predecessors, and yet this DOI suddenly decides that there's something wrong. I think that's patently unfair.
Defending the mayor, Eric Adams, the Democratic nominee to take his place in City Hall.
But he's still a father, he's still a husband, and he must do whatever is needed to protect his family.
To Eric Adams, I say, in joining in solidarity
with his friend, his supporter, Bill de Blasio. This is corruption of the worst type.
Adams didn't address Sliwa today, but on Thursday said it's ironic. Critics have said his own plan to reduce or eliminate his own police detail is irresponsible.
We can't condemn him and condemn me. You got to have it one way or the other.
Today's the last day for New York voters to register for the election. Early voting starts in 2 weeks.
We pulling the trigger here, Mark, or what?
Hold on 1 second. Let me get back to you over here.
Okay.
So it's an interesting thing that the am I back? Okay.
Yes.
It's an interesting thing that the inspector is the one to hang again. Isn't that an odd thing that continues to happen every time this guy gets into a mess? It's the inspector or the under person or the people that are under those people. You know, shit rolls downhill, man.
Sorry, go ahead, Darren. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Nah, go ahead, Mike.
Just briefly, I wanted to say, this isn't the first time we hear about this. A few years ago, that detail that Mr. Sif mentioned in regards to them driving his son back and forth from Yale University, that was the original transgression that was being explored. Then that died down. My question is here, and I'm sure that Darren could explain it, why now, with 2 months left before he goes, wayward and wherever he chooses to go post-December, are we hearing about it again? It doesn't seem like it makes sense, the timeline at least.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Mayor Bill de Blasio is the quintessential mayor of New York, and there's been no better mayor than Bill de Blasio ever. And when we get a great guy like this that comes under fire, I really think it speaks volume to how the media unfairly treats Bill de Blasio. And if you believe that line of shit that I just gave you, I'm selling the Brooklyn Bridge and I'm throwing the White Stone in as a constellation. Bill de Blasio is the epic failure as an elected official. So when we speak to what happened recently with his security detail, something that came up a couple of years ago is you kind of partially made mention to, Mike, was his security detail was driving around his son Dante as he was smoking dope in the backseat of the police car, and they tried to keep that as hush-hush as possible. This is pre-legalization of weed, I might add. So that being said, now we've turned the corner, and he still continued to use the NYPD as a concierge service. Look, this is my thing. Is the mayor's family entitled to a police detail for protection? If there's a threat assessment that proves that there's a credible threat against his family, then I understand it. But moving furniture and all of that other shit should totally be out of the question. And that being said, de Blasio is I want to say, a grade 1 coward, because he hides behind others and he never steps in front of anything and says, look, the buck stops with me. This is my fault. Therefore, I take responsibility. No, it's always this person. It was always that person. It wasn't me. This is an overreach. It's an overreaction. So this is basically a reflection of a coward. And I'm fortunate to live in a city like New York and know that he's out of here in less than 90 days. In terms of who's coming in, as Mike made mention to, why is this happening at the late stage of his tenure in City Hall? I don't have the answer to that question, but one thing that I do know is he can never run for public office again, because he's been a colossal failure and he has some balls, tepidly speaking, to running for governor.
Well, since we're on the subject, maybe it's tit for tat. I don't know whether I'm trying to follow the timeline here, but just a couple of days before this became relevant news, this was, and let me share this with you.
I do feel bad for the DOI, though, because they're in a no-win spot.
Yes. They're between a rock and a hard place because they report to de Blasio, but they have to present a qualitative investigation.
Of the NYPD and indeed the Flash and controversial president of the Sergeants Benevolent Association has resigned tonight. This after the FBI raided his home and the union's office earlier today. Sources say he's the target of expense report irregularities. His departure, a very big deal. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger.
You want to say anything? He isn't known for his silence, but Ed Mullins kept his thoughts to himself today when reporters greeted him at his Port Washington house. Controversial chief of the NYPD Sergeants Union will now resign under the cloud of a federal criminal investigation. It is clear, the union wrote to its members tonight, that President Mullins is apparently the target of the investigation. Given the severity of this matter or the uncertainty of its outcome, the executive board has requested he resign from his position as president. This evening, he agreed to tender his resignation. This morning, a team of FBI agents descended on the downtown offices of the Sergeants Benevolent Association, parading on foot with boxes of documents back to Federal Plaza blocks away. Agents also executed a search warrant at Mullins'
The fact that they got to walk
A
with
lot
those
of what he has
boxes.
done has been really, really destructive, especially in the middle of a crisis where we're trying to unify and we're trying to get people through together. I think he's been a divisive voice.
When it comes to Mullins and the mayor, there's no love lost. The active NYPD sergeant is facing departmental charges for tweeting information about Mayor de Blasio's daughter's arrest during last year's George Floyd protests, as well as for using profane language in a tweet directed toward a sitting member of Congress and in an argument with the city's former health commissioner. Mullins has not been arrested or charged with anything, and it's still unclear what this investigation is even about. But he has now tendered his resignation at the union he's led.
We're back, Mark.
Hey, all right. Okay, so what I thought was interesting was that the Ed Mullins, who is a friend of the show, as a matter of fact, when Bill and I started doing this, the progression was to go with the SBA, and we started recording our podcast down in that
Inside
same
Blue.
building. Inside Blue 360, the same building they were. Did you see them walking with the boxes?
Yeah.
Isn't that an embarrassing thing that you got to walk to? Why are you walking 2 blocks with boxes?
It's a photo op.
Yeah, but you're right. It's just embarrassing for the. I guess for the investigator, I wouldn't want to be carrying the boxes. I know that. But anyway, so I know Ed as a great guy. I also know him as very, very smart. I doubt they're going to – I just can't imagine him doing anything shady, especially when he's so vocal. And he knows the way people are. The way people are is you're going to be vocal. You got to be able to be clean. And he never held back, man. He said stuff that everybody in the background's going like this. Yeah. But you don't want to be the guy in the front saying that.
Well, I mean, Ed is a personal friend of mine. And when I saw what happened, just in all transparency, I have a personal bias in favor of Ed Mullins because, like I said, we have a great relationship. We're
so
friends,
do I, yeah.
And I just see that this is a situation where it's an open investigation. He stepped down. I also look at it from the perspective of, he's 61, 62 years old. So he was retiring, I want to say maybe a year to 2 years later. And he had the case in connection with the departmental trial in connection with the tweeting of Mayor de Blasio's daughter when she was arrested.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have an issue with that at all because I believe that it was a public record based on it being an arrest. So that being said, she was willing to protest in public. So deal with it in public when it's revealed that you were arrested. I don't, in terms of how that was being driven, I think there was somewhat subjective because one may argue that he divulged confidential NYPD paperwork in connection with the arrest. I don't know if that's the case, or was it just merely a situation where he obtained some information that was public knowledge and he just put it out there. If that's what he did, he introduced information that was a public record. I don't see anything wrong with it. But in any event, apparently de Blasio did. He came with both barrels blazing. And I think de Blasio is a coward. And the one thing I give Ed Mullins credit for is you can either fall for anything or stand for something. He was a person that stood tall for the 20 years as he was a union president. I still wholeheartedly back Ed. And I'm hopeful and confident that he will come through this investigation unscathed.
I doubled down on that, and I co-signed it. And I also want to say that fuck, now I lost my train of thought. Mike, go ahead and I'll get back to it.
Well, here's somebody that's been with the NYPD since January of 1982, has seen a lot, has done a lot, served in the various detective squads. I remember seeing him on the show. And he wasn't only doing guest spots here on various episodes, he was also doing briefly a To the Point series with Bill Cannon. So he's been very active. But I think in general, the more vocal you are, and I'm not saying this is a good or bad thing, it's just a fact of life. The more vocal you are, the more adversaries are going to come your way. Somebody was going to always try at some point to snipe him.
They were weaponized. The FBI was weaponized right there. You're using a hand of law enforcement to do your dirty deeds, and then it's ironic that 2 or 3 days later, the hammer drops on him. I just don't understand how this works.
Well, I want to ask Darren this real quick, and that actually brings up a very good point. The relationship, and I know this from my friendships with the members of the NYPD bomb squad, the relationship between the FBI and the NYPD has always been a very, very precarious one, especially post 9/11. What does this do to a relationship that at times has been, let's be honest, downright hostile?
Well, the relationship between the NYPD and the FBI or any other federal law enforcement agency is very compartmentalized. You'll have certain groups or certain units in the NYPD who actively engage with members of the FBI. I'll give you an example, the Joint Terrorist Task Force. You have members of the FBI, you have members of the NYPD that work in unison on these investigations. In no way, shape, or form do I think that their relationship would go awry based on what's happening with Ed Mullins. You may have officers that are actually doing the investigation on the FBI side of the fence that may have an acrimonious relationship with the individuals that are being investigated. You know, that's understandable. That's human nature. But when you look at it from a universal perspective, one agency compared to the next, I don't think that it's this state or of antithesis in comparison with the two agencies. You made mention of what happened during 9/11. There was, there was, I mean, I was on the job at the time. And so you had like some federal agencies that felt that they had a greater presiding position in the wake of that investigation because it was a terrorist act, looking for Osama bin Laden, trying to assess who it was. But then you also had members of the department that actually lost people, and they said to themselves, look, we need to wholeheartedly be a part of this. So I want to say there was a give and take, or there was a tug of war there, but it goes back to what you initially asked me, Mike. It's very compartmentalized, depending upon the unit that we're making reference to. That's where you can gain a focus on that relationship. But it's not a universal relationship in terms of the NYPD sees it this way and the FBI sees it that way.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Maui Swift. She gave us a super chat, $13.99. Thank you so much, Maui Swift.
Maui, we love you.
Retired NYPD, can I call in? No, we don't have that figured out yet. We got a lot of stuff going on right now, but if I got to handle calls too, forget it. Hey, let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question.
We're running. We're almost at the end of your time here. You got to split. We're doing a short show tonight, but Curtis Sliwa versus Eric Adams showdown coming November. What is it? November 6th is the day to vote.
2 weeks is early voting.
What do you think? What tell me, because there's been no scandals. Usually there might be a scandal right now. One would knock one guy right out the race. We saw that before in history. That's why Bloomberg became mayor. But there's no scandals coming up right now. So what do you think?
Well, historically, the Democratic front runner has been the person that wins in the general election in a place like New York, because we have an overwhelming majority of Democratic voters that reside in the city of New York. So from a quantitative perspective, it would appear as if Eric Adams would be the favorite, and he's more than likely to be elected as the mayor. However, we go back into the 90s, mid and early 90s, Giuliani ran as a Republican and he won. And right after Giuliani, we had Bloomberg that won as a Republican. But I kind of don't peg Bloomberg as a Republican. I peg Bloomberg as an opportunist. And he fell into the silo that worked best, that worked best for him to allow him to get elected. But just case in point, Bloomberg was looking to run for president. What platform did he run on? The Democratic platform, right? So he's just not a person that's consistent with his ideology and politics. But back to your initial question in terms of Sliwa and Eric Adams, it appears as if Eric Adams is probably going to be the person that pulls this off. But I just think that, I listen to a lot of things that Curtis is speaking to in connection with crime, how we need to address certain issues, the focal point of the quality of life in New York that's been fractured. And I think the messaging that Curtis Sliwa has presented has been more sound in connection with public safety. The other side of the spectrum,
he's out there.
Yeah, but the other
Did
side
you see
of
the
spectrum
videos he posted?
I've seen a bunch. With him and the homeless guy.
He goes everywhere. He sits down next to a homeless guy. He sips out of the guy's coffee. He massages his feet.
He's in the streets like James Evans from Good Times.
He's massaging the homeless dude's feet.
Yeah, but you also have to remember and take into account Eric Adams was a former NYPD executive as he was a captain. So he has a genuine understanding from a practitioner's perspective of how public safety needs to be advanced in the city. So, that being said, it's going to be a race that we clearly see the favorite is the Democrat, but let's see where the chips fall. But that's what my assessment is. I hope I didn't give you an overly ambiguous answer to that, but I project Eric Adams to be the winner in the wake of the overwhelming Democratic majority in the city of New York.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that is everything that you said, once again, spot on. But who knows? We got 2 weeks before the election, or what is it? 3 weeks. 3 weeks before the election. And unless there's a scandal,
I mean, my candidate is not. I had a great candidate, and he's not in the race. And I was kind of hoping that my candidate would have really been on that center stage.
Who was that?
He's not there. Mike Cologne.
Not a chance.
The motherfucking man.
Well, he's coming. He's coming out. He's coming out.
Mike will manage the bully pulpit accordingly and get the job done. We'll steamroller over people that don't get the message.
That's why
Mike's not in the race.
That's why we call him the prodigy.
Well, thank you very much. But that's one job that I think I'm all right on. Somebody else can have that. I'm good.
Well, Darren, I know you got some personal stuff to take care of over there. So
I'm actually on a criminal trial up in Chicago. So I'm just trying to
What's the name of that gang again?
Man, I can't really go.
All right. Yeah.
I'll tell you off the air, Mark.
All right, go. I heard it before. Anyway. I just thought it was a cool name.
Okay.
Anyway,
Popeye the Sailor, how he saves Olive from Pluto, right? That's the case, right?
Well, thanks for coming on with us tonight. We're gonna have you on again very, very short soon. And
we'll totally dive into the pool. The next time I come on, Mark, I just want to let you know I'm coming on with no shirt on. We're doing the South Beach style. All right.
Well, I'm gonna have to
you two. And the same holds true with Mike.
You got the sloping traps right there that look good, man.
That's
a good T-shirt. Well, what kind of T-shirt is that? You got that safari in you, man. You back, man. You went to see a motherland. Forget it. You feel good.
I'm talking about. I'm acting black right now. Right? All right, Mark.
All right. Thanks
Mike,
for coming by.
I appreciate Eminem. It was a pleasure period with you both.
Likewise.
It was good. It was good.
All right, cool. Remember, Mike, you're my best candidate for running for mayor. Hopefully you change your mind.
2028, right?
I don't know. You could smoke the candidates to step in there,
right now.
So, yeah.
Right now.
You get on there. I think if we get the write-in ballots, we have everyone write in Mike Cologne's name. We could smoke both candidates and you surpass the competition. And they'll just stand around after the fact and, oh shit, I can't believe Mike did it. But I'm here to tell you that Mike
he's got 400 YouTube subscribers strong.
400
strong.
400 million.
Well, we got to build that up. We got to build it up.
Love you guys.
So, love you too, man. Thank you guys for stopping. Thank you for stopping by. Let's you know what we're gonna do, Mike? We're going to oh wait a minute. There we go. Are you still okay? So what we're gonna do, Mike, we're gonna give a shout out again to and thanks again for Darren for he was supposed to stay the whole hour, but he screwed me. What are you gonna do? Nah, he's got more important stuff to do. At least he did the half hour. Like I said, we're gonna have an abbreviated episode tonight. But just to give a shout out to the people, Maui Swift, like I said, she $13.99. Thank you so much. Boxing MMA 365. Factual breakdown. All the usual. Dawn Marie, be safe. Have a great. Ange, hi Ange. Let's see what else we got here. Peter Pranzo in the house. I know he's doing, or he just did an episode with Grizzly.
Yeah, it was great. I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really good. He's always a good interview. He was on my show a while ago too. By the way, speaking of Angela, she did a great intro for both Duty Ron and Off the Cuffs Real Crime Stories. I don't know if you saw the intro for Bill and Phil's show.
Yeah, we're working on one for mine now. So.
Oh, good. Okay, I can't afford her. She's too expensive for me, but she'll do a good one for you.
Shut up. You're down with us now, brother. You're down with OPP, man. You get whatever you want. You just name it. The Prodigy. What Alexander, police off the cuff. Okay. Let's get back to the Brownlee. Okay, yeah. So, well, just so you know, the format that we have here on Police Off the Cuff it's a platform, and we have several different shows. And the true crime shows and talking about the laundry, Brandon Laundry, the guy they're looking for right now.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's another show, though. And this is a different show. So Bill will be back. He's doing his own thing. What I want to mention, too, is we have merch. We have great cups and mugs and sweatshirts. We're getting hats. So if you're on the YouTube page right now, check out some of the merch. I'm going to be rocking some. I'm just waiting for my order to come in. And we also have a YouTube membership that we'd love you guys to be part of. And there's tiers on there. And
not the ones that make you cry, but the ones that make you buy.
Yeah, there you go. And if you're looking to sponsor with us, if you own a company, and right now we're at how many? Over 20,000, maybe 21,000 YouTube subscribers. We have over 1 million views. Email us, otcpod1@gmail.com. otcpod1 at gmail.com. Email us, and you could sponsor our show. We could use the help, and we could sell some of your products. And also, we want to mention let's do the commercial now.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay, folks, if you need a lawyer, hopefully you don't get in trouble. But if you do, if you need a lawyer, you know what I like to say, hurry and call Joe Murray. Do not call any of these ambulance chasers. Joe Murray will help anybody out. He knows both sides of the fence. He was with the NYPD for 15 years from 1987 until his retirement in 2002. And he's been a lawyer for just as long, graduating the bar, I believe, in 2006. So if you got to call anybody, please call his office at 646-838-1702. Again, 646-838-1702. Or hit him up at his cell, 718-514-3855, 718-514-3855, or email him, joe@jmurray-law.com. Again, joe@jmurray-law.com. If you need a lawyer, again, hurry and call Joe Murray.
All right. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. I got a couple of shows on Friday night. Where am I? VFW Post 3020. That's in Jersey. Lancaster, I think it's called. Lancaster, New Jersey. If that sounds familiar to you, come on out. It's going to be a great time. I'm also doing another show on Saturday at the Waterside, 225 Ellis Street, Staten Island. So if you're in Staten Island and you want to come out and watch me rock the house, Saturday night, it's comedy for a cause. And all the proceeds will be donated to whatever cause they're doing there. The Waterside.
The good kind.
I'm not trying to I'm just reading it. I'm just reading it off the phone right now. One more thing. I wanted to just hold on 1 second. And here we go. You ready for this? That's my album. It's called The Bangers. Okay. It's a lot of jokes that I've been doing for years that I wanted to just put them all on one album and get done with them. There's a bunch of police stuff on there too. Really, really funny stuff. You can get it anywhere. You can stream iTunes, Spotify. If you have Sirius in your car, you're going to hear me whether you want it or not. So that's we did an abbreviated show tonight. I had more stuff to ask Darren about, but Mike, what do you got coming up?
Well, tomorrow, Friday, I have Volume 6 of The Best of the Bravest, interviews with the FDNY's elite. For the next episode of the podcast is going to be Captain Dennis Tardio. Dennis Tardio did 23 years in the FDNY, retired as captain, and he led the rescue efforts. He was one of the leading figures in the rescue efforts at the Trade Center on 9/11. He was in the North Tower. Him and all his men survived that day. And next week, a couple of interesting shows, continuing to build up the audience. Got another interview coming up with the retired bomb squad detective as part of my miniseries with that. Retired deputy chief. And next Friday, unless any news breaks, hopefully the world is able to not go bonkers for a week. I got Ashley Banfield coming up. So some exciting stuff on tap for the show.
And where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube, MC's Audio, MC''S Audio. And please go subscribe to me if you haven't already. And of course, you can find me on Instagram, original_MC1, Twitter, Mike in New Haven, LinkedIn, Mike Cologne, type in Mike Cologne, MIC''D.
We're going to be back again next Thursday. Who's our guest next Thursday? It looks like it's
going to be Thomas Coughlin, who's a police psychologist and a retired detective.
All right. I'm excited about that, man. And you'll be sitting in with me for that?
I'll try to, yeah. Hopefully I can. And I know we have some other guests coming up too. The 28th is going to be a particularly great show. Aphrodite Jones, who's a crime writer and has worked with police departments for over 30 years now. She was just recently featured on 2020, as a matter of fact. So that's two very good shows coming up.
All right, folks. So there you have it. We did an abbreviated show tonight because Darren, he had to run out. But we thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll be back next Thursday with, once again, what's the guest's name?
Thomas Coughlin.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. And once again, on behalf of Police Off the Cuff After Hours, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate the love. And we'll see you next Thursday.
Take care, everyone. Stay safe.